Hello, my name is Ann Leone, and I'm a partner here at Strategic Divorce. Thank you for tuning in today. One of our main goals here at Strategic is to provide each client with an individually tailored strategic plan to accomplish their goals in the most cost-effective way as possible. Today, I want to talk you through some of the considerations we have to keep in mind when we strategize child support modifications. By way of background, Illinois underwent a dramatic overhaul of child support guidelines back in 2017. Under the old laws, child support was calculated using a fixed percentage of the non-custodial parent's net income. In other words, if the parties shared one child, the child support obligor would have to pay 20% of his or her income, 28% for 2 kids, 32% for 3, so on and so forth, up to 50% of obligor's income for 5 children or more. All value judgments aside, this was a relatively rigid practice. The new model is called income shares. At the time Illinois adopted these new guidelines, the majority of the country was already using this formula. Under income shares, courts evaluate 3 main factors in determining child support obligations. The first and perhaps most fundamental change of consideration is the percentage of each party's net income relative to their combined net income. Second, the number of overnights the children spend with each parent. And third, the amount of income ordinarily spent on the number of children involved, according to tables published by the state of Illinois. The amount of child support determined by the Illinois Department of Health and Family Services is based on the geographic location of both parties and their respective net incomes. So in considering whether or not to pursue a child support modification, we have to adopt some new strategies to account for these new factors. Under the old guidelines, if the obligor's income increased, let's say by obtaining a higher paying job, their child support obligation would also increase. In those types of cases, it was almost always a benefit to the child support recipient to pursue a modification. However, under the new guidelines, the end result is not always so straightforward. Generally speaking, the new model makes it so that if obligor earns more income than the recipient, then the child support obligation is higher. Whereas, if obligor makes less than the recipient, the obligation amount will be lower. Specifically, when we look at cases where child support amount was set under the old guidelines, we cannot assume that a modification of child support would benefit the recipient, or the obligor for that matter. The best way to illustrate the impact of this change is by using a hypothetical. Let's say A and B are divorced and they share one child. A has found out that B has gotten a job with higher pay. A would now like to modify child support. A's net income for the month is $3,000, and B's net income is $7,000 a month. Altogether, their combined net income is $10,000 a month, which according to the state means that the parties are responsible for $1,445 per month towards their child. Let's pretend A is allocated the majority of parenting time. She spends 300 overnights with the child per year. Because A earns 30% of the party's combined income, A will be responsible for 30% of that $1,445 as in for her child support obligation, meaning $433.50 per month. B would then be responsible for 70% of that $1,445, in other words, $1,100 per month. Under the old model, B's obligation would have equaled 20% of his $7,000 income, meaning $1,400 a month. This is an obvious benefit to B, as under the new model, B is saving almost $400 a month. However, A, being the recipient of the child support payment, is not benefiting from this new model. I hope this illustrates the importance of properly strategizing your pursuit of child support modifications. Please call us today to schedule your free consultation so that we can help you strategize how to achieve the most successful outcome for your family.